We have turned NotebookLM into a shareable interactive experience that a customer can learn from and interact with that will help customers to consume our content. This experience was created one-to-one, but can also be adapted to one-to-many. We will demonstrate the process in this video. If you go into your NotebookLM notebooks, depending on when you see this video, you will see a Sherlock Holmes interactive game. In this video, we will adapt this concept to turn a NotebookLM notebook into an interactive course for a customer. You will see that on the welcome page, what you can do is you can enter a command and you can start playing what is called a game. If we enter in game and we click enter, NotebookLM will then start an interactive game based on the rules. You will see two elements that we need to adapt. One is the creator notes at the bottom of the front page, and the other is the custom game prompt. We will copy and paste both to a separate Google Doc. We should now have two documents. We should have the game rules. We should also have the front page note. It now means we can create our notebook with our own content. So we're going to create a new notebook. We're going to upload content that a customer already has access to. We're going to turn it into an interactive experience. We have basically uploaded an audio course that the customer already has access to. Our goal is to get the customer to consume our course or our content. You will need help from Gemini. And so in this particular prompt, what you're seeing is that we're going to borrow elements from the Sherlock Holmes game. We're going to tell Gemini that. We're going to tell Gemini what the goal is for Gemini to write a prompt for us. You'll see that the goal for this specific interaction is that we are creating a notebook for one customer. You may want to create a one-to-many experience for the customer, or you don't have to put this line in at all. You will want to customize this prompt for your specific use. So there's nothing magic in this specific prompt. You can make it what you want it to be. We're going to want to attach some documents. So we want to go to our drive. We want to get those two Google Docs that we just mentioned. We have a front page note. We have our game rules. We want to use the highest level of prompt that we possibly have. Whatever is your highest level that you have available here in this area, you want to use it for a complex task. We're going to paste in the prompt. We're going to allow Gemini to generate an answer. We did not give Gemini specifics in how we wanted the game to operate. So we let Gemini determine how the experience is going to work. If you have specifics that you want to inject them into the prompt that you give Gemini here when you're asking Gemini to write your front page rules as well as your game rules. We're going to save this entire interaction to a Google Doc. Gemini has given us three pieces, which we asked for. We asked for front page rules. We ask for the document area, which we're going to make the system instructions, and we're going to place this inside of our notebook configuration. We're also asked for an image generation prompt for us to customize the notebook. We're going to copy the front page rules. We're going to head to our notebook. We want to click Customize. And what we're going to do is we're going to set the notebook summary. Instead of giving a notebook summary, we want to write in our note. We're going to make sure that our notebook summary is then set and turned on. We'll click done. And so now what we have is we have our rules and we have them in. Now again, this notebook was created for a one-to-one experience. So we have written in the customer's name. Obviously, if you're going to be doing this one-to-many, you will not write in a specific customer. This is something that you can adapt to your own purposes. We now want to move to part 2, which is a proprietary area document. And this is going to be a prompt that we're going to paste in to the configured notebook section of NotebookLM. And so this is going to replace the Sherlock Holmes prompt from the other game. We obviously don't want to make a game. We want to make an interactive experience for a business owner. This prompt is going to force the game to act in the same way as which you created the instructions. So we're just going to copy all the instructions. We're then going to head to NotebookLM. We're going to click on the notebook configuration. We're then going to click on Custom. We're then going to paste in our prompt. We're going to leave the default length. If you want to customize by making it longer or shorter, you can. We're going to leave the default length where it is, and we're then going to click Save. We now want to generate our image. So we're going to move down to the third prompt. We're going to copy this entire prompt. Now, Gemini states that we can use this in Midjourney, obviously this image inside of Gemini. So we're going to copy the entire prompt. We're going to head to a new chat in Gemini. We're going to paste in our prompt. We're going to make sure that we're using the Create Image tab. We're going to paste in the prompt. You want to use the highest level of prompt that you have available to you. Now, if you want to iterate in terms of the images, this is not a full-blown tutorial on how to iterate with the images. If you want to edit the image, you can click on the image and you can make any changes that you want. We're going to download this image as is. We can now customize a notebook by uploading our image to the image section. There's a good point here that you can now customize your title to make it what you want it to be. We're then going to click Done. What we now have is an interactive experience based on our specific course that we had given the customer. We want to begin by testing the elements of the experience. So the instructions state that the user needs to type accelerator to enter an interactive business application experience. And we have tested one aspect of the interactive element. So the user is instructed to type in A, B, or C. We're going to continue to test the process. And we have now completed phase 1. We verified that our interactive experience is now working. We now want to share with the individual to whom we are giving access to. We want to make sure that the individual is going to be a viewer, not an editor, and we then want to click Send. And we then want to enter the notebook as if we are that individual so that we can make sure that the experience is working properly. And we'll see what the individual is going to see. They're going to see this element. They're not going to see studio assets. We don't really have any here. They will have access to the content here. What we can then do is make sure that the individual will then be able to start the process. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use the commands and we're going to verify that the process is working. And we verify that the process is working as it should for the individual that will have access to this notebook. So what we have done is create an interactive experience for one specific customer. And whether we are teaching or selling this experience, we now have a duplicatable process. So to keep the process duplicatable, we're going to come back to Gemini. We're going to turn this into a gem to save time when doing this a second time for a different set of content. We're going to ask for Gemini to use a trigger phrase, hello Gemini. Then the gem should ask if the notebook is going to be shared one-to-one or one-to-many. And then based on that answer, it's going to then create the other prompts. We've stated that we're going to attach the same 2 documents that we use in the conversation to the knowledge area of the gem. And so based on this, we want Gemini to then create the instructions for the gem. We're going to enter this into Gemini as a prompt. We're going to come back to the same conversation. We're going to enter in the prompt. We're going to use the highest level of prompt that we have available. Gemini will then give us the adaptable instructions for our gem. We're going to copy the instructions. We're going to head to the gems. We're going to create a new gem. We're going to give our gem a name. We're going to copy in the instructions to the gem. In the knowledge area, we're going to paste in the documents from our Google Drive. We know where the information is coming from, so we're going to disable knowledge citations. We don't have a default tool for this, so we're going to leave this at no default tool. We will then save the new gem. And our gem is now created. We can click Start Chat. And now we have a duplicatable process that we can use over and over again in order to initiate the interactive notebook experience. As a postscript to this video, we had trouble saving the gem to use the command given to us by Gemini. So we had to go back to Gemini and tell Gemini that the prompt that it gave us causing us to have an error in saving the gem. Gemini had narrowed down the cause of that to 3 elements. There was an explanation as to why this happened. So what we did was we asked Gemini to rewrite the prompt the correct way. We then copied that prompt and placed it inside of the gem, and it did eventually save. Okay, so thanks, and I will see you in another video.